Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Small Attainable Goals. I'm Sean, and today we are doing mental health memes again because they're fun and I need some fun. Maybe you do too. I don't know. Let's get started. How's your mental health? I can't believe it's gotten even worse. Yeah, the worst thing probably from mental health, even beyond the fact that you just feel like absolute crap all the time, is that to get better, you usually end up feeling worse because, if you're having super bad anxiety and you're going to therapy, that's the best way to get better. But also, you got to get to the root of that. And then you got to dig up a bunch of whole crappy memories that you tried to push down, but they're still there. So go to therapy. When a girl rejects you, just like your anxiety said she would, just like the simulations. This is so true with anxiety. And it's not just for, dating when it comes to dating or like being rejected by somebody. It's literally everything. Your brain is just constantly running, simulations in air quotes of what could happen. You're just constantly wondering, what if this happens? Well, then this is going to happen. And that's usually why people who have really bad anxiety are tired all the time. It's because your brain is literally running 24/7. That's why they also have a lot of trouble sleeping because you can't shut down your brain to, take a nap or, just stop running the scenarios over and over again. It is super annoying when you've had a good few days, but you can feel your mental illness creeping up on you. Anxiety, depression, unhealthy coping mechanisms, social isolation. Stay Back Slut by April Ludgate. I love Parks and Rec. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's great. But this is super true. A lot of the time, when you have anxiety, depression, all these things, you almost start to believe that you don't deserve to feel good and you don't deserve to be happy. I know that I get that way. And it's mainly just depression lying to you. My therapist always tells me that depression is a liar. And it's really true. But when you're having one of those moments, it doesn't feel like it's a lie. It feels like the most true thing in the world. And you just got to know to keep going and not stop fighting it because you want to. Oh, God, you want to. My anxiety telling me that everyone hates me. My depression telling me no one cares enough about me to hate me. Been there. I think everyone who suffered from depression or anxiety has felt that way. You just constantly feel everyone hates me. Everyone's looking at me. It's a lot of people get that when they go to like the gym to work out. 9 times out of 10, no one's looking at you. They really just don't care. And half the time, a lot of the people there are just as socially anxious as you and just feel as self conscious as you do. So just do you. As long as you're not hurting anybody, do you. Burglar. If you want to live, give me all your money. Me. Bold of you to assume I want to live and that I have money. It's nice knowing that I'm not the only person whose mental health is tied to their bank account. I know that anytime I have to spend a lot of money on something like a repair for my car, I will set a therapist appointment for that day or the next day because I know that I'm going to be in a real big slump. And thank God my therapist lets me keep a tab and pay when I can. So, God bless her. You ever been so stressed that you're calm? This is my constant state. My chill is fake. How are you so calm? I've passed beyond stressed, beyond hysteria, into the gray, misty indifference of complete shutdown of all but emergency services in my brain. I was like that for 5 years. I used to call it going on autopilot. You basically just dissociate from yourself and just do the bare minimum. It's like quiet quitting for life. Uh, it sucks. And if you feel this way, go get some help because it can get better, but not if you just stay in emergency services mode. When you are on the verge of mental collapse and something minor, inconveniencing happens, today's the day. This is so true. There have been days where I've had horrible times at work, just complete shit days, and then everything in your personal life is going wrong. And this is just a straw that broke the camel's back type scenario. I remember one time I had a horrible day at work and everything just kept going wrong. And I got in trouble for like nothing that I did. Like someone else did it and they were off that day, but I got yelled at for it. And I remember coming home and just making toast. Um, and the toaster burned my toast and I punched the toaster like Ron Swanson. And I felt like an idiot because I broke my toaster. But at the same time, in that moment, I did feel a little bit better. Can't lie. People, why are you so funny? Me. All my jokes are cries for help. This one's super true. Any funny person that you've ever met is really sad and just needs a hug. But seriously, this is why we need comedians. They can take non-funny things, horrific things that have happened to them or to other people, and make them funny. So then they're easier to talk about. And we really should be talking about all the stuff that's wrong in the world, but sometimes people don't like to be bummed out. So that's why if you sprinkle a little comedy on it, it helps get the message out. Me, out having a great time with my friends. Anxiety, they hate you. Me, they're my friends. Anxiety, are they really? Me, wondering. This happens all the time with anxiety. You could be friends with someone for 20, 30 years, and there would still be a little voice in the back of your head whispering, they hate you. They're just being nice. They're faking it. No one's faking anything for 30 years, except probably conspiracy theorists. Doctor, these pills will fix your brain. Me, thanks. Doctor quietly, they might also make it much worse. Me, what? Doctor, what? Yeah. If you need to go on meds, it's super annoying to find the right combination sometimes. It's just really frustrating. That's why you need a really good doctor, because sometimes something that works for this person will make another person worse, and then it'll do nothing to a third person. But you just have to persevere and get through it to try to feel better. And once you get on the right medications, you do feel better. I like dropping bombshells on my therapist in the last few minutes so that it feels like I'm leaving on a cliffhanger. Try not to do this. Say the important stuff at the beginning. You're just going to end up spending more money. Me, if I were Alice. We are all mad here, says the Cheshire Cat. At me? Questions Alice. We've all been there, Alice. We've all been there. Whenever I feel highly anxious, I lay in bed for 5 to 6 hours, and it does not help. I hope this helps. Anxiety sucks in general, but it's even worse when you're trying to go to sleep because you just end up sitting there stewing in your own thoughts. And it's never anything important. It's always something stupid like, I got a C on that paper in 7th grade. Why did that teacher hate me? I hate her. I wonder what she's doing. And then you're like, next thing you know, you're Facebook stalking your 7th grade teacher. Shit, I have a therapy meeting in 20 minutes and I haven't practiced my lines. Don't do this. Just tell the truth to your therapist. They're there to help you. Don't run lines with them. It's not a scene. It's your life. Talk about it. I don't need therapy, says someone causing great trauma in the lives of others. Yeah, it's always the people who need therapy the most who say, like, I don't need therapy. I'm totally fine. I'm doing great. Like, yeah, but you're making everyone around you miserable. So usually their comeback is, that's not my problem. Yeah. A lot of bosses do that. And then they wonder, like, why'd they quit? Because you suck. Whenever my friends try to make me feel better, but I just want to complain. Guys, please just let me hate myself and everything that I have created. I feel you, Nick. Sometimes it is good to complain, though. That's all that you really need sometimes. You just need to get it all off your chest. So listen to your friends when they're complaining about stuff. You can try to help them afterwards, but 9 times out of 10, even with your partners, they just want to vent. Therapist, how are you feeling? Me, I'm good. My inner monologue. She was also depressed and heartbroken. Don't lie to your therapist. They're there to help you. That being said, I do this every single time that I talk to mine. At least she knows after I say it, she goes, "Okay, and how are you really doing?" And then I go into it. I want to kill myself. Fill this out as the nurse hands in paperwork. This is unfortunately super accurate, especially in the United States. I remember when I was trying to find a therapist, I kept getting dicked around by my insurance, and they were like, "Oh no, we're not going to cover that. We won't cover that either." Oh, and then they actually covered one person, but they were 3 hours away, and this was before COVID, so there was no like telehelp or anything. You couldn't like call them and just talk. They were like, "No, we have to meet in person." And then you finally find someone who's close and in your network, and you don't click with them, and your insurance is just like, "Oh well, and you're shit out of luck. Just go to them." And you're like, "I don't like them. They're not for me." And they're like, "Okay, then pay out of pocket." You're like, "I don't have any money. That's why I'm super depressed." But you gotta keep looking. I know it's super hard and super annoying, but you have to keep trying, because sometimes, unfortunately, you're the only person who will fight for you, and you're worth fighting for. But you got to try to find the right help. If you're really struggling, then you can call 988 and they will talk to you. There's counselors on there. That's the National Suicide Prevention Helpline. They also will help you find local resources that you can go to. And a lot of therapists and psychiatrists actually care. Like the really good ones, they actually do care. So once you pay their initial rate to become their patient, they will let you slide sometimes with money and stuff. So if you can't afford it, this one session, they'll let you hold off and keep a tab, because they want you to get better. And they know, especially the good ones, they know that once you start getting better, you start doing better in your life. So if you're not making a lot of money right now, it might, and it probably is, just because you're super depressed and you can't handle all the stress that you're going through, and they can help you with that. And then you'll in turn start doing better. When you suffer from depression, what people think you feel, just sadness, and then what you actually feel, hopelessness, nothing, sadness, self loathing, anxiety, guilt, isolation. For a meme, this is super accurate. This is how I felt. The most annoying thing is when you feel nothing. Depression just sucks. And if you are feeling like this, go get help. You're not just sad. You can't snap out of it. You do need help. So go get help. You can get better. Absolutely love this depiction of therapy. Please remember how powerful talking is. And it's a picture of a therapist unraveling balls of yarn from a tangled mess. This is just a really wholesome meme, and I love it. It's not funny, but it's super accurate, because this is what a good therapist should do. They should help you sort out all of your random thoughts. Because a lot of the time when you're anxious or depressed, everything kind of seems like it's all jumbled up, and you can't really focus on one thing. And your therapist, a good one, will help you sort things out.